Hi everyone, Dennis Foley from Acoustic Fields. I get a lot of room forms sent in, I get a lot of phone calls, and I get a lot of emails. And people are what I call gear proud. They're proud of their gear. They've saved and they've researched and analyzed, and they really get kind of emotionally attached to their gear. And one of the particular things that they get attached to are speakers. And I understand that, because the speaker is really the closest thing to the source of music that you'll ever have. It's the visual representation of the sound source. But we have to be careful here. We have to be careful with getting too close emotionally to our components and treating them like they're the most important thing in the chain. And they're not. They're just another component. And if you really understood how they're made and how they produce energy, you wouldn't elevate them to such a high point of concern and care, believe me, because they're real imperfect devices. And there's so many variables, as we all know from my past videos, that contribute to sound quality, that they're just another piece of equipment in the chain. Just like your amplifier, just like your cables, just like the room. All are components to producing good sound quality. So don't get too close to our sources, so to speak. So let's be a little bit careful and step back a little bit and realize that a speaker is really just a sound generating device within our rooms. Now that speaker must be compatible with the room size, volume, and usage. So a lot of people buy big speakers because they think bigger is better, and then they put them in small rooms, which negates everything the designer intended when he designed the speaker. So you have to be a little bit careful here with hero worship, so to speak, and getting too attached to these things. You'll have more enjoyment out of your system if everything is balanced and matched together. The speaker's not too large for the room. The amplifier's not too large for the speaker. There's all kinds of balancing acts and ratios that we have to go by. So speakers are just another sound source, just like my voice is to you in this video. It's just another source governed by the laws of physics. Now, it's a source that's reinforced with electronic amplification, but nonetheless, it's still a source, and we can control the amount of energy we put in the room. What are the big components of a speaker that we need to be considering? Low frequency driver size and diameter. That's the whole key, and the number. So the number of low frequency drivers we have in our speakers and their diameter, because we know from past videos that the difference between a 10-inch low frequency driver and a 12-inch low frequency driver is plus 2 dB of energy. So we like large speakers, a lot of us do. I hear it every day, and I cringe every time I hear it, because I know that just the 2-inch difference between a 10-inch and a 12-inch low frequency subwoofer, so to speak, creates 2 dB more energy. Now, most rooms have low frequency problems. So the larger the low frequency driver we have, the more problems we have in the room. Not only at the low frequency, middle and high frequencies also, because we get too much energy that we have to manage. So how can we control some of that? Well, we can simply tell the speaker electronically to not play a certain amount of energy at a certain frequency, or below or above. And that's one way to do it. I don't like that way, because I don't like limiting the music source that the artist and engineer have put together, because they have put together a full range presentation. And if we're going to go and cut off some of that electronically through a crossover, I don't think we're doing our music justice. I would rather design the room, have the room compatible with full range music, and go from there. So realize that the speaker is full range, and the most important part is the number of low frequency drivers you have. Middle and high frequency drivers are small by definition, and most rooms we can handle that energy, the reflections, through diffusion and absorption. But when you get oversized low frequency components in your speaker system, just a 2-inch difference can make a 2 dB difference in energy that causes problems for all frequencies in your room. So we have to be really careful and marry the size of the speaker to the room and the usage. So I know you like your monitors and your speakers, and a lot of you are proud of the fact that you finally saved the money to buy these, but be very careful. Make sure that the speaker works in the room that you're going to use it in. Thank you. Thank you for watching our videos. We really appreciate your support, and if you could give us a thumbs up for our Facebook page, that would really be helpful to us. Our room form gives us all the information about your room, length, width, height, usage, and we need you to fill that out before you send it in. Those of you that just found us on the internet and are under a time crunch, you can go to the contact section of our website, and there's a book now button, so you can book an appointment with us, but make sure I have your room form to go on with it. The ebook series that we have is free. Please subscribe to that. There's exclusive videos in there, so you can get an idea of your particular situation, possibly with the videos. And then our forum. We have a forum on our website. There's a lot of forums out there on the internet. Our forum I'll actually answer your questions and comments, so you'll be dealing directly with me through our forum. So once again, thank you for your support.